Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Wisdom Walk Talk. Here just on my YouTube channel because there was some technical difficulty with my radio broadcasts. It is Mercury retrograde. Those kinds of things can happen. So I'm gonna move right into doing our show. My technicians will just replay from last week for people who are listening over the radio. But for those of you who are here live with me in the live stream, let's go ahead and get started as always. And how wonderful that I get to broadcast on Christmas Eve. It's really wonderful. Last year was a whole different story for me. I didn't even know if I'd be broadcasting again, but this year things have worked well. So as always, I want to start with honoring the ancestors and invite you to join me in honoring your ancestors, especially during this holy season. Shout out to Malidoma and Sobonpu Some. So grateful to them for bringing the medicine from their beautiful land of Burkina Faso. And join me as I invoke them and all our ancestors and do an invocation to start off this program. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is, may the ancestors hear our prayers. Ancestors, 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 we call out to you during these final days of 2023 and ask you to guide us gently through the final required adversity as healing and growth opportunities of this nature year. Enable us to continue to express our grief unapologetically, and to receive all of the compassion, support, and encouragement that we need to keep moving forward. Continue to enable us to fully welcome and embrace this new age and new renaissance, new earth consciousness, and guide us lovingly, happily, and more deeply into our personal renaissance. As we dare to live our new narratives, enable us to remember that these are divinely scripted for ourselves and for our world. And most importantly, continue to enable us to move forth from the dark ages of modernity by placing our heads below our hearts, valuing people over profits, and always choosing love over fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Ashe, Asa, Ashinga Bismillah, and so it is. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know about y'all, but I am end of the year tired. Yeah, and doing this work of contemplation, which I'm going to be sharing with you. And I always try to do the exercises first, or it's ones that I've done that I share. It's really powerful. It's really powerful to think about all of what we have gone through in 2023 and that we're still standing. Yes, we're still here. So pat yourselves on the back and yeah. Hey, Queen Amina. Amin. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's been a time, right? And I don't know anybody who hasn't gone through it. And I'm just so grateful to be here with all of you, whether live, virtually. If you see this 2 months from now, I'm just so grateful. I am very, very proud of myself for hanging in there, being persistent with my broadcast and live streams. And I feel really, really fulfilled that I was able to do that, especially this year to the degree that I did. And yeah, and thank you to all of you for being here and for listening in. I want to share this opening quote with you. It's from a poem called Desiderata, which in Latin means things needed or desired, things desired or needed. And it was written by a man named Max Ehrman back in 1927. Yeah. And he was totally of New Earth conscious, so awake. And I love this. I believe this is like the last stanza of the poem. And he says, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him slash her to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. What can I say? This is the broadcast over now, just from that quote. Isn't that just beautiful? And you can find this very easily. When I was growing up, it was done in spoken word with music behind it. I think it was Rod McEwen that did it. I'm not sure, but it's really powerful when you listen to it. And I can remember, my mom and them, saying, yeah, this is really powerful. This is some powerful stuff. So Desiderata, things desired and needed. It's really powerful. And again, it's the messages like I've been giving and everybody else who gets that we're moving into a new consciousness. So it's very validating. Yeah. Good evening, Miss Carmen. Glad that you're here. Part of us wisdom walking, doing our wisdom walking work. Yeah. It's a really powerful time we're in. And I am so grateful to be here at the end of all this with you. I love this picture. It's been so important because it's a reminder to us of how connected we really are, that we are connected to a higher timeline, to a higher consciousness. And we need to start really living through that, start embracing it and living through it. No, we can't be there all the time because we are, gravity is real and we are here on this earth plane to experience our 3D lower timeline things. But we can now go up into that higher timeline more than stay in the lower one and really connect with our souls and our hearts. This year, my theme has been, and I know this has been our experience of adversity as the engine of success. But hopefully, like this quote says, that opportunities to find deeper power within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. And that definitely has been my experience, and I believe the experience of many, many others that I've been working with and people I've been talking to. It's been hard. It hasn't been easy, but it's really taught us more about what we have inside, about that inner courage, that inner strength. And, finding that out is not an intellectual exercise. It really is what you got to go through. So congratulations to all of you again, who are still here and that got through all of this adversity. Now, we're not done with 2023. We got another week to go, so there could be some more that jumps up. But just remember, you can, because go up to the higher timeline and keep yourself connected to the truth of who and what you are. Yeah. So tonight, I'm going to support you in closing out 2023 and opening up to 2024 with some contemplative questions first, and then some guidance around how to set those annual commitments, your guideposts throughout the year, so that in 2024, just like in 2023, those of you that had those guideposts, that they really help. I know they helped me. They're great reminders. So I have aligned what I'm going to share with you for closing out 2023, of course, with the Dagmar medicine wheel, right? And the healing foci that I've associated with each of the elements. So let's get started. Here we go. Number one, fire, forgiveness. Yes, yes. Who and or what did you forgive during 2023? What did you forgive yourself for? Yeah. Sit with that. Sit with that. Think of that. Really, really supportive and very helpful to realize that we are practicing this important posture of forgiveness. So important to be letting go of holding on to pain that was transferred onto us. Next, we go to water, and it's all about peacemaking. With whom or what are you no longer at war? You know, part of the closing out is that we want to feel good about what we've accomplished. We don't want to stay focused on, the trials and tribulations and the adversity. We want to really focus on what did I get over? What did I do? Where am I standing now? Yeah. So think about that. Who, with whom or what are you no longer at war? And then what shame, blame situation did you release? And what did you gain by doing this? Yeah. Really, really cool. Next, we have earth, the earth element, about valuing self and others. What's an important way you demonstrated that you value yourself in 2023? Really think about that. Yeah. I captured mine. Yeah. And then there was another one that I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I did that too. And in what important way did you demonstrate that you value others? Yes. How have you been of service? How have you been of service to others? So important. Next is mineral, the mineral element. And hold on, I've got one thing I want to stop for because I got a message I want to share from Anika, daughter of Oshun. Yeah, with whom or what are you no longer at war? Great questions. I love the alignment with the medicine wheel. Phenomenal job, Ashe. Thank you for that, my dear. Yes. So here at Mineral, it's about remembering purpose. How did you experience living your higher purpose during 2023? Yeah, fun question. That one's fun. Yeah. And what is something new you learned about living on purpose? Yeah, I learned a couple of things. One of them being that you can't get out of it. Once you start down that road, you can't get out of it. You can try, but it ain't going to work. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what you all discovered too. Absolutely. And then last but not least, in the nature element, it's all about welcoming change. What was the biggest change that you welcomed into your life during 2023? Woo! And how has that changed helped you to heal, grow, and evolve? Yeah. Yeah. A good one. Very good one. I was really clear about my big change. Last year, this time I was living in a hotel. So I've made great progress, great movement based on the change that happened. Yeah. Yeah. Really, really good stuff. So after you have done that, you've done your contemplative questions about closing out 2023. Of course, it's time to turn around and to open up to starting this new year of 2024. And it's a lovely fresh start that we are moving into. And so I wanted to remind you, and for some of you, introduce you to this practice of creating generative annual commitment statements versus New Year's resolutions. It has been proven that resolutions don't last, and it's because they're made very superficially. So, as it says here, Olympic gold medalists weren't born star athletes. It is through making commitments, setting goals, experiencing setback injuries, falling down, and missing the mark countless times that enables them to be strong enough to compete and eventually win the gold. Yeah, it is a process. So, your wisdom walk through the new year of 2024 will use a similar strategy for your successful healing and growth process. You will also make your resolutions from a deeper place, from your heart and soul versus your ego. That is why I am calling them commitments. Now, here are four ingredients to this practice that is very, very essential. The first is it is essential that your commitments serve as beacons of light and encouragement to help you find the path when you go astray, because that is just taken for granted. You know, we are human, so we're going to go astray. And also, going astray sometimes is what has to happen so that you get strong in it. I went very astray with something during 2023 and got the consequences of it, and then got back onto alignment with what it is that I was supposed to be doing. So it really does help and to strengthen us. It can. Your commitments must be generative, statements of soul informed intentions that are fundamental to the truth of who you are as a divine being. Yeah, so this is really, you're creating something from that higher timeline. Really, really important. Next, commitments cannot be expressions of temporal, material, or superficial wants and needs, because these are usually fear based and stated in negative terminology. And I'm going to give you an example of that in just a minute. And last but not least, commitments must generate an energy that touches your heart and soul. They must always and only be made from your love center and never out of fear. Yeah. And doing that, of course, is our practice. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure we're not setting ourselves up to be living in fear. So here we go. Here's some example. So the first is an example, and I'm taking weight loss because that's one that's typical, that people use as a resolution. I'm going to lose 50 pounds so I can get into a bathing suit or bathing trunks, right? So the first one is the egoic or edging God out approach. It's fear-centered motivation for losing weight. Here's what it sounds like. I don't like how I look. If I don't lose weight, I'll get a chronic disease like diabetes. I'll never attract the right partner if I'm overweight. Okay. Now let's take it up to the higher timeline to what I call the echoic or engaging cosmic opportunities approach. It's love-centered motivations for you losing weight. I want to feel good about myself and how I look. I want to be healthy and let go of being worried all the time about getting a disease. I want to be in a loving relationship with the right person. So you can see the codependency gets dropped off here. And so my guidelines for doing this, to getting to that love-centered, echoic generation of your commitments is, first, you're going to list 3 things you want to heal and or ways in which you want to improve and grow yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just, what is it that matters to you? Next, you're going to ask yourself why you want to heal or shift each of these 3 aspects of yourself. So you've got to come up with your why. This is really, really important. And when you start off with the why, you're going to probably get some of that fear-based stuff. I don't like myself. I'm not enough. There's something wrong with me. Okay. But you're going to restate all those fear responses into language that is positive, love-centered, affirming, inspiring, and expressing your divine truth. And I'm going to jump back again to the example so you can see. Based first, it's I don't like how I look, and that shifts to I want to feel good about myself and how I look. I don't, if I don't lose weight, I'll get a chronic disease. I want to be healthy and let go of being worried all the time about getting a disease. I'll never attract the right partner if I'm overweight. I want to be in a loving relationship with the right person. So you can see the difference there. Yeah. And then the fourth step is you keep working until a smile comes across your face and you say, yes, I am willing to learn how to experience this. Yes, 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 yes. So it is a process, it's a practice. And I'm going to give you now an example of what annual commitments for weight loss may be like when they're written in this generative, echoic, love centered language. Yeah. I commit to doing, having, and being only that which supports me feeling good about myself. Isn't that beautiful? I love this one. I commit to focusing sufficient time and energy on learning and doing the things necessary for me to experience and maintain wellness, mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. And lastly, I commit to deepening my compassion and love for myself so I can share it with an intimate partner. Way cool stuff. And Hector tuned in. Hey, Hector. And he says, I will do this. Good. And with a smile or laugh. Exactly. Yes, it has to make you feel good. That's the difference between a commitment this way and just a quick New Year's resolution. You're attaching your emotional and spiritual intelligence into it. And so you work with it, you keep writing it over, and if you do it 50 times, however, so that you get a language that is music to you, that sounds good to you. That's what is most important. And in this way, you will definitely be so much happier about how you're feeling about yourself as you go through the year, taking on your personal growth and healing and evolution. Yeah. And just a reminder, believe in your heart that you're meant to live a life full of passion, purpose, magic, and miracles. Yeah. So have some kind of mantra like that when you sit down to craft these statements, because you really want the love flowing and you want that flowing in your mind. I also want to remind you about divine timing, that we're going to throw out the clock and trust that we will achieve these goals in the time that a greater order and direction allows and requires. Yeah. Because I've got some commitments I've been working on for a couple of years, 3 or 4 years. It's not like it gets completed in this year, but this year, or like in 2023, I can look back at my commitment and say, wow, I'm doing really good. I'm getting there. I can see the progress that I made. So don't be attached to, like, I got to get it all done this year. No, be more focused on you're doing something that's music to your ears. It feels good to you, and you're going to make progress. Absolutely. And then, of course, hold that vision, trust the process, be persistent, don't stop believing, and never, never, never give up. You can do this. You got this. You can make it happen. Absolutely. Yeah. So important. It is so important. Yeah. Yeah. Now, when I come back in January, I will have the 5 collective commitments for us. And you may want to roll some of that into your annual commitments after you hear it. But start out with just focusing on you. And yeah, you'll be very, very happy. My Sarah quote for this month is, don't look for someone in whom to believe. Believe in yourself. The only authentic authority is your own original nature. or our own original nature. Yes, thank you, Mama Sarah. Love that. Ah, I miss that woman so much. She was so important and loving to me. Everybody should have a Miss Sarah in their lives. Wow, that's all I got for you right now. This is my last live stream of Wisdom Walk Talk for 2023. And as always, I just want to express my great gratitude to everyone who supports me, who loves on me, who comes and listens to me, finds me supportive and helpful. Yeah, I'm just in such deep gratitude. And of course, I always want to shout out to my regular watchers out there, to those of you who have wisdom walked with me or are going to be wisdom walking with me, and you know who you are, and to my family on both coasts and in the middle of the country, to my spiritual kin everywhere, my transformational leadership colleagues, my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, and those who may be watching for the first time. Let me say this again. Thank you. Big thank you, because truly I couldn't be here doing this without your willingness and beautiful support. Yeah. Now, I am going to be back live streaming on January the 6th, is it? Or the 7th? Yeah. January the 7th. Is that true? I had it written down. I can't find it. Oh, yeah. I'll be back on January the 7th. And my broadcast will be repeated on the 31st. Hopefully, this one can get into a broadcast for people. Thank you so much, Hector. I received that love. Yes. Yes. And as I said, I'll introduce the 5 collective commitments. I'll also give you an overview from the Dagara perspective: indigenous wisdom, astrological wisdom, numerological wisdom about 2024, because it's the year of the dragon in Chinese astrology, very powerful. It's the number 8 in numerology, and that is associated with, expansion and abundance. Yeah, it's 2024 interesting, but it's not going to be an easy walk. But I think we're more prepared. We're more prepared for it. Now, I also want to plug my book. As always, it's still available, and I've been getting so many reach outs from companies that, they say, well, we're going to take you and we're going to help you get bought by a big company or something like that, which of course you got to pay them to do that. And I'm just like, no, you got to pay me, but I'm not paying you. It's doing okay. It's doing what it needs to do. It's walking its walk. And as long as I can keep it on Amazon, I'm good. Yeah, absolutely. I also want to plug Juanita's book, The Inner Ground Railroad, which also does a wonderful depiction of the Dagara medicine wheel, applying it to healing ancestral wounds, and a 40-day journey that she takes you through, her and Amy. Really wonderful. And again, also available at Amazon and other online booksellers. Also, a shout out and reminder about Queen Reverend Adara. This will be her last service for 2023. It'll be this Wednesday, December 27th, and starting at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Go to spiritismylife.com, click on events, and you will get access to making a $6 donation and then getting a link for the Zoom. And I will be there this week. I missed it last week because, the week before I missed it, I had an unexpected client. But I will be there because it's the holiday season, and it's a wonderful way to close out the new year as well. I also want to remind us that starting on December 26th is Kwanzaa, a 7-day African American centered celebration of, really our healing, our growth, and our evolution. And it's based on those 7 core principles known as Ngozu Saba. And there's this wonderful website I came across called awarenessdays.com. And you go to the Kwanzaa 2023, and they actually have stuff to download because it gives guidance for things you can do and how you can do if you haven't done this before, you don't know somebody that does it. But it's a beautiful, beautiful way, again, to close out 2023 and open up to 2024. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Wonderful. Another sweet message from Queen Amina. Thank you, too, for creating a healing space for us all. My great, great pleasure. Thank you for saying that. I love it. That is part of my goal. I want this to be very, very healing. And I also want to acknowledge this beautiful holy night of Christmas Eve, that beautiful Star of David from the cosmos, bringing into us a prophet, Messiah, a little baby Jesus, who was born homeless, who was born a criminal because Pontius Pilate put out an order to kill all the newborn babies. So mommy and daddy were on the run when he's born. But the Magi, who were the astrologers, the astronomers in ancient days, they knew about that star and they followed the call to find out, okay, where's it going? What's happening? What's going on? And, you know, one of the reasons I believe that Yeshua, Jesus Christ, is so iconic, regardless of what religion. And unfortunately, despite all the twistedness that some religious groups have done to what he really represents, what he really represents is a powerful thing. And I'm loving the energy of this night and want to share that energetic with all of you. It's very, very beautiful. It's a great reminder to us that there really is a great order and direction. Ashe. And also, of course, I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. May all your wishes come true, whether you believe in Santa or not. Still have a wish come true, right? That's what we're here for. Yeah. And as always, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. And yes, please, during this holiday season, have a healthy and safe mineral week that we're in, remembering your higher purpose and following your heart and soul. Now, continue to wear those masks because there's a new strain, a variant of COVID going around that's highly contagious. You know, be healthy, be well, strengthen your immune system, practice safe relating, wash those hands, you know, use that alcohol, avoid perceived safety, and practice science safety. And most importantly, please, please remember that you are not disposable. Look how baby Jesus came in. Look how baby Jesus came in, right? Being born in a manger around sheep stuff and cows and chickens, whatever, rats running around, right? Yeah. So it doesn't matter. You can become the best version of what you really are because you are not disposable. You are divine. Good night now. Again, happy holidays, everybody. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.